Mario Odyssey is one of, if not the best Mario game of all time, and what would it be without the capture mechanic? I remember back in E3 2017 when this was just announced and the internet blew up, and man is it fun too. In this video, I'll be counting down my top 10 favorite capturable enemies. Also, major spoiler warning. Sherm is a tank found mostly in New Donk City and the Wooded Kingdom. When captured, the player enters a first-person view and is able to shoot projectiles that could destroy enemies, boxes, and many other things. Sherm's mechanics are a fun distraction to get a few moons, however I think there are many better choices of enemies to capture. The Tropical Wiggler is found primarily in the Lost Kingdom. When captured, it allows the player to stretch a certain distance and is able to fit into smaller spaces. Whenever I am in the Lost Kingdom, I always capture one of these guys because they are so fun to use and are very easy to control. They give you a lot of control on where to stretch. The only way I could think of to improve them is to maybe allow them to stretch upwards and downwards, although I'm afraid that'd be really hard to control. Either way, a really fun enemy to capture. Yoshi is such a great surprise. Many people weren't sure if he'd be in, but the first thing many people did, or at least the first thing I did, when we arrived at the Mushroom Kingdom, was look on the roof of the castle and see if he was up there. And sure enough, he was in the exact same spot he was in Super Mario 64. Not only that, but he was also capturable. He's able to flutter jump and stick out his tongue to get fruit, enemies, or even cling onto walls. Although he is fun to use, I do sometimes have a hard time controlling him, and he can be annoying to use sometimes. However, for the surprise of him being here, he has to make the list. Gushin is found in the Seaside Kingdom. It allows the player to jet forward and upward with a limited supply of water. I really like this idea, and it makes moving around in the Seaside Kingdom a lot more fun. I like that you have to refill it with water, with one exception being the Mushroom Kingdom in this boss fight for whatever reason. But I like that you have to refill as it makes you think of how to use your water consistently. While I don't use it much, the jets that the gushin shoots out can damage enemies, which is a nice touch. Overall, a very great enemy to traverse the stage. The Bullet Bill is basically a much faster gushin. I love being able to travel with the Bullet Bill, however there is a catch. After a while, the Bullet Bill will blow up. But like the gushin, I like how this mechanic makes you think about your bullet usage. There's one moon in the Sand Kingdom that tests you on this mechanic, as you are just barely not able to make it. But then, if you capture the bullet a lot later than normal, then you're able to get the moon without the bullet exploding. This has got to be one of my favorite moons in the game, just because of how it makes you think on how to use the bullet. The bullet is fun and easy to use, which is why it takes the number 6 spot. Since the first time they met, Yoshi was only slightly taller than Mario. When Mario grew up and they met back up, Yoshi was the same size. But now, Yoshi finally hit a growth spurt. TRex is found mostly in the Cascade Kingdom and the Wooded Kingdom. The TRex allows you to destroy everything in your path and is very satisfying to use. One moon in the Cascade Kingdom is received by killing hundreds of enemies with the T-Rex, which is so fun. I also find it funny that a realistic T-Rex and Yoshi are in the same game. Glideon can be found in many kingdoms of the game and will allow the player to fly through many kingdoms. Glideon is so fun to use and is very helpful when looking for moons. Glideon can also be very helpful in the Sand and Wooded Kingdom in Luigi's Balloon World. Glideon is a great way to move anywhere in a kingdom and explore, and that's why he gets the number 3 spot. Uproot is found primarily in the Wooded Kingdom, and can stretch his legs and allow players to reach spots that are really high up. I love to hop while walking with Uproot as it makes him feel a little faster. Uproot is lots of fun to use and discover spots that you may not have known were there. Whenever I'm in the Wooded Kingdom, I'm always in Uproot because they're just so much fun to use. You thought Yoshi was a spoiler? Well, how about Bowser? After defeating him in the Moon Kingdom, everyone falls underground and you're able to capture Bowser, and wow, what a surprise. I thought that you'd need to capture something big to defeat Bowser, but I would have never expected to capture Bowser himself. Bowser is able to claw and shoot fireballs, which is very good to use. Whenever I fight the boss in the Moon Kingdom, I always try, keyword try, to shoot the pillars while I'm destroying a different one. The only downside to Bowser is he's practically never used. It would have been really awesome if you could have a whole kingdom where you could just run around as Bowser. Bowser can also go into a short 2D section where he uses the same sprite he used when he used the 8-bit Mario amiibo in Super Mario Maker, which I think is a really, really nice touch. Pokeo, in my opinion, is the best capturable enemy in Super Mario Odyssey. Pokeo can stick out its beak and it can stick into non-metal surfaces. And then you can slingshot him in any direction you want. This allows for so much creativity in how you move around in the Bowser Kingdom and a couple other kingdoms. Its beak can also kill enemies and reflect certain objects like bombs. They created the Mecha Brutal boss fight around Pokeo's mechanics, which I absolutely love. Pokeo is so fun to use and is great for moving around in the Bowser Kingdom and killing enemies that get in your way. That's why Pokeo takes the #1 spot. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you liked it, leave a like and tell me what you thought in the comments. If there are any top 10s you'd like me to do in the future, please let me know. All footage that isn't mine is linked in the description. I'm going to try to make these top 10 videos as much as I can, so I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye.